Alright, I'm going to show you how to do some flashing text. It's not the most difficult thing in the world, but it occurs to me that it may not have occurred to you how to do it. So let's get started. I've got some text here, and if I want the whole word to flash, it's probably easier than doing single letter flashing. I'm going to just duplicate this layer, select another color. Sure, blue's fine. So I've got blue on top. I'll just name this blue. And I've got this pink on the bottom. And they are perfectly matched up on top of each other. So I'm just going to use opacity. Use the T key for opacity. Click on the stopwatch. I'm gonna go 0, 100, 0. Now if I want to repeat this pattern, there's a really easy way of copying the keyframes. All I have to do is draw a box with my cursor around those keyframes. The yellow means that all 4 of those are highlighted. I'm going to copy them using Command C. Move the cursor over a bit, paste them using Command V, and all of those keyframes have copied. So let me just scrub through here so you can see what's going on. So what's really happening is I'm fading through these 2 colors. It starts off at blue, and now as the blue is fading, you can see it's kind of purpley. And now as the blue is completely gone, we see the pink layer underneath. And I keep going and the blue fades back in to 100. And then the blue fades back down to pink. So what does that look like? So that's flashing. It's, it fades, so it's not as jarring as a real on and off kind of flash. There's an easy way to do that. You just select all of these keyframes, right click, and do toggle hold keyframe. You'll see that your keyframes have changed, and now this is going to hold on blue until it gets to the next keyframe, and it's going to snap to pink. It's not going to fade anymore. Now it's going to snap back to blue, and that's going to snap back to pink. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay. Alright, and if you want to speed that up, of course you know by now that you need to select all these keyframes, and you need to, if you want them to flash faster, then you want the keyframes to be closer together. The easiest way to do that is to Option click on the end keyframe, and that will scale everything proportionally. And that way you don't have to do all of your timing all over again. If you need to expand them, just select them all. Again, Option click on the last one, and that will expand everything uniformly. Okay, so let's see what it looks like flashing quickly. Okay. Alright, so that's what it looks like. That's flashing text. Alright, so now I'm going to do some flashing text with each letter flashing individually. It's very much like a combination of the other text tutorials I've already done. So you need a base, which is the word itself. Now I need to make copies of all those letters. I'm going to duplicate this 5 times. Okay, let's get rid of the bottom one, and I need to isolate the letters. So let's see. Oops. Okay. There's the H. There's the E. There's one L. There's another L. And here's an O. Okay, so what I actually want to do is try to get these letters lined up exactly. It actually shouldn't be too hard, seeing as everything in After Effects is pixel exact. It's pretty good. Let's do the L. Move that over. I'm using the shift right arrow key. You can kind of see how off that is. And just use the right arrow key a few more times. Let's turn that off to see. There we go. Let's do the other L. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe 1 pixel. That's pretty good. And the O. Okay, that looks good enough to me. Alright, so what we've got is the word as its own layer, and then we've got each of the letters duplicated separately on top. Now if I want to do individual flashing letters, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the color using one of the color correction tools. And I think I'm going to do let's just use hue saturation. There's actually a variety of different things that you could choose, but I'm going to use this one for now. And let's say you want it to be bright green. Okay. So what I want is to copy this effect to all the other layers that of the individual letters. So I'm just going to copy, going to select these, and paste. Okay, so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate the opacity. Let's start it off at 0. Okay, and then just every few frames I'm going to change the opacity. Oh, I didn't turn on the opacity for this one. Okay. Oh, here. That one's going to be at 100 while the other ones are going to be at 0. Okay, now I'm going to move forward a few frames and this is going to be at 0. Now the E is going to be at 100. And then L, L, and O are going to be at 0 as well. I'm going to add that keyframe because it's just a little easier to keep track. Move forward a few frames again. And then I'm going to make this one 0. And I'm going to make the L 100. And you don't have to actually put these keyframes in, but for me somehow it's a lot easier to see. So I'm going to put them in anyway. Move forward a few frames. Okay, now I'm going to make this one 0. And make this one 100. Okay, I'm going to add in the missing keyframes for the others. And remember, to add in a keyframe, it's just this little diamond here. Click on that diamond and you add a keyframe. Okay, now I'm going to move forward a few frames again. And I will make the O 100 and make everything else 0. See, turn on these keyframes. So let's see what that looks like. That's kind of fun. It actually fades from the blue to the green, which is kind of nice. As you can see, if I just scrub slowly, that green dims and then it goes to the next letter. And again, if you don't want that effect, and if you want it to pop on instead of fade, the easiest way to do that is to select all of these keyframes, right click on any one of the yellow ones, and you'll be able to get the menu up, and toggle the hold keyframe. And what that's going to do is it's going to pop on the colors instead of fade. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Personally, I like the other one better, but they're both kind of fun.